This $1 paint stir stick just became the star of my front door. So watch as I show you just how easy it is. You can make a stunning swag for any holiday or any theme on any budget. Let's get started. Okay, so for the supplies that you're going to need, you'll need your paint stir stick, okay? And then I've got this mesh from Hobby Lobby that's red, white, and it looks like silver instead of, or silvery white because of the foil. It's really pretty. Okay, and then I have a variety of ribbons from Hobby Lobby. Now you can get all of your stuff from Dollar Tree or, Walmart, any of the places that sell ribbons and mesh that, you can get on a budget, whatever your budget will allow. Okay, and you'll need some pipe cleaners, a few zip ties, some scissors, and a rotary cutter and a rotary mat. If you don't want to use, if you don't have a rotary cutter, you can use some scissors. And then you'll probably need your glue gun, and if you want, a sign to go on your swag. And I'm going to use this sign that I made myself using clip art that I just Mod Podged on this. And I made out of smaller paint stir sticks and craft sticks. Okay? So I'll set all this aside and show you what to do next. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is to set up our paint stir stick with our pipe cleaners. So first thing is I'm going to make a hanger for the back. And I'll just take my pipe cleaner around the narrow edges here, around that curve. And then give it a really good tight twist a couple of times. And then I'm just going to round it off like this. And then just take the ends and just start to wrap them around the circle. And I'll do that to both sides. Okay, and that'll give you a good sturdy hanger to hang up your swag. Okay, so this is the back. I'm going to turn it over and then start to place my other pipe cleaners. And you're going to want to place 8 of them. Let's see, 5, 7, 8. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll take one right underneath where I placed that hanger for the back, and I'm going to take it off to the side here, and I want to twist that really, really tight. And then I will take another one and I'll do the same thing going in the opposite direction. Okay, and they might move a little bit, so you don't have to, but you can put some hot glue on here to keep them from moving, and I'm going to do that myself. Okay, and then I'll come down and go ahead and go to the bottom, and about 2.5 to 3 inches from the bottom, I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the top, and I want 2 of them going in the opposite directions. And this is where the glue will come really in handy, especially on the bottom, so that this doesn't slip off. Okay, and then I'm going to go and find my center point here in between these two. And you can use your cutting board here to measure it out. It's about 15 inches, so I'll come in about right about 7.5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 should be center. And then taking it to the opposite. Okay, so for your remaining two, you're going to just put it in the center of these two. And these you want to point straight up, since you're just putting one right here. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that I did go ahead and put some hot glue on these, and I put a piece of felt over them so that they're good and sturdy on here. And you can do this on the back. You don't have to do it on the front. I also put a little piece right here with some glue right below where I made my hanger. Just wanted to keep that on there really good and sturdy. Okay, so now we're going to cut our mesh, and you can see my mesh roll is very small, but this is because I've already filmed this and my microphone went out, so I have to refilm it to show you how to cut the mesh. So I'm cutting the mesh at 24 inches long, so you're going to need 8 24-inch pieces of mesh. And I'm just going to use my rotary cutter. You just want to cut it like so. So you need 8 of these. And then to fold it, okay, so to fold it, I'm starting with the underside of the curl, because it's just a little bit easier for me to fold over this edge. And you just want to fold it over about 1 inch thick or so, and fold it over for a couple of times, just rolling it. And then I'll do the other end the same way. Just want to cover those raw edges. And then I'm going to flip it. And then I'll just start to gather it in the center. Just like an accordion. And when you get to the end, take it and pinch it. And you have like a cruffle, which will look kind of like a bow. Okay, and so you'll make 8 of these. And then you'll need 8 12-inch pieces of mesh. And for the 12-inch pieces, we're going to make some double curls, is what I call them. So just come over and cut 12 inches. And now for this mesh, you can use a different color. You can use a solid white, blue, or red if you want. And I'm basically going to do the same thing I did earlier, and I'm going to curl this one end up a couple times and clip it. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other end. This time I'm just going to roll them up to meet. So you'll have like 2 curled ends like this. And you'll need 8 of these. Now we'll start putting our cruffles onto our base. So you'll just take one of your larger pieces and you're going to place it right in between the pipe cleaners and then just give it a really good tight pull and twist. Okay, and then these ones for that are in the very middle, the single ones, you just want to get these pipe cleaners straight up so they won't be in the way, and we're going to do those last. Okay, so you just take another one, place it in the next pipe cleaner. Make sure you pull it really tight and give it a couple of twists. Okay, and we'll do the same thing to the one on the bottom. And then I will turn this around. And do the same thing here. Okay, and then next one. Got one more for the top. Okay, so now we can go to our center, the two pipe cleaners in the center, and place another one. Our next one. Okay, so now we have all of these on. Next thing I'm going to do is start to cut the ribbons. And so when we go to do our ribbons, we're going to put one of these extra curls in there with our ribbon. And that's just going to make it a little bit more fluffy and give it some more texture. Okay, so for our ribbon, we're going to cut 6 bundles of tails to put where we're going to put those all the way around. I'm not going to put them in the middle too because I'm going to put a sign there. So I'm going to start with this blue, which is a beautiful glittery shiny blue. It's going to give our swag some sparkle. Okay, and I'm going to cut each one at, let's see, I'm going to cut them at about 13 inches because I want to dovetail the ends. I want it to still be long enough so you can use your scissors to cut them or you can use a rotary cutter. I'm just going to use my rotary cutter. Let's see, turn it around this way. Okay, so I'll go ahead and finish this. I'm going to also use this red polka dot, this red, white, and blue stripe, and this 1.5 inch white, and this red shimmery 1.5 inch. Wait, I say this was 1.5 inches, 2.5 inches. Okay. So I'm going to cut out all this ribbon and show you what to do next. Okay, so I've cut out all my ribbon and I've dovetailed the ends. And so now I'm going to start to make my bundles. And I decided all I'm going to do is use 3 of these blue ones so you don't have to cut 6 of them, although I've already cut 6. But you'll need 3 of the blue. You'll need 6 of these white ones. And then I'm going to take one of these red ones, of the 1.5 red. So you'll need 3 of these. And then you'll need 6 of these striped ones. Now you can do any color ribbons and color combinations that you want. It doesn't have to be exactly the way that I do it. I just pinch them all in the middle, kind of give them a little bend. This, and then I'll pair it with one of the curls that we made, the out of the 12-inch mesh, and I'll put my clip on it just for a minute to hold that. And then on our swag, just going to go in and starting at the top, I'm going to place this one in the first one at the top on this side. Take out my clip and twist it really tight a couple of times. And then we'll flip them out after I've put all the other ones in there. And so the next one that I did, let's see, I'm going to change up the color combination. I'm going to start with the polka dot reds, pair it with a white, and then I'm going to place one of these white ones. So we're going to do the striped one first, and then one of these whites, and then give it a nice pinch in the middle. And then we will pair it with our curl. And then we'll go in and attach this one. So you can do it in any color combination you want. I'm going to do it like this and do either. So you'll need 3 of these bundles and 3 of the other ones. So I'll go to my swag and I'll place it in the next one. Okay, and then I'll make another one just like we did the first one and put it in this last one on this row. And then I'll turn it and I'll start with the first one here on this end and go all the way around. Okay, so once you've placed all of your ribbon bundles, you still have 2 curls left. So I'm going to put these curls in that middle section. Now you can put ribbon in here if you want. If you don't want to put a sign, or even if you put a sign, you could put ribbon. I was going to leave it off because I wanted to make sure my sign will fit first, and wouldn't be able to see the ribbons underneath it. Okay, so now we can fluff out the ribbons that we put on. You just want to take them and pull them so they, fluff them up, shape them so you can see them. Okay, and you'll do that to each of these bundles. And then when you're done, you can go in and give your twists here, your little pipe cleaners, another little few twists, and then cut them off and tuck them underneath there so that they'll be out of the way and not visible. And then just tuck that part in the back and underneath. Okay, I'm going to finish fluffing out my ribbons, and then we'll make our bow for the top. So now we're going to start our bow. And I want to incorporate this blue. I'm going to make it my base. Let's see. I want to tell it's about at least 8 inches. And we'll make our loops about 10. Okay, so I'm just measuring out to 10 and then pinching it and then bringing it in like this. I'm going to make at least 4 loops, I think. Okay, and then I'll cut my tail again at 8. And I'm going to clip this. I'm going to clip it and set this one aside so I can make the rest of my bow. Okay, and then I will use the white. And this white is a satin white, but it's a little kind of papery thin satin. You can use, I mean, it doesn't matter which one you use. Let's see, I'll make that one 8 inches tail. And this time we're going to make it a 9-inch or 8-inch loop. I think I'll go with the 8-inch. Let's go with a 9-inch loop on this one. And this one is not double-sided, so you want to make sure that you've got it turned to the pretty side, the satin side. I'm going to make 2 loops with this one. If you have a bow maker, you can make this on your bow maker. Just come in here and attach it. This one. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one that I did the white. I'm just going to make 2 loop at 9 inches, 8-inch tails and 9-inch loops. I think I'll do 3 loops on this one. And then cut my tail. Okay, then make, so out of the 1.5 inch, still going to do 8-inch tails. And then I think I'll do an 8-inch loop. And we'll do 4 loops on this one. Okay, and I'll do one more with the with the 1.5-inch white satin. Go ahead and do 4 loops on this one too. Okay, so now we're going to put all of our ribbons together, and I'm going to use a zip tie to zip tie them. This is where a bow maker would probably come in handy. You're trying to do such a large bow. Okay, and then all we have left is our blue. Grab my zip tie. And before you tighten it up all the way, I'm going to stick a pipe cleaner underneath there so that we can use it to attach it to our swag. Just going to pull it through, make sure that it's even, and then finish tightening the zip tie. Put really, really tight. Cut off that tail. Okay, so now all we have to do is fluff up our bow. You just want to pull it, pulling out all the loops. Then you want to kind of mix them up so you want to pull them in different directions so that you get the different looks of each ribbon. And then you can go in and dovetail your ends of your tails. Now, if you prefer to slant cut them, you can do that too. You don't have to dovetail them. I think I'm going to slant cut them this time. And then once you have the bow on your swag, you can fluff it out some more, rearrange it if you need to. Okay, so now we can attach it to the top of our swag. So I'm going to try to get this into the camera as best I can because it's really big swag. So you're just going to take your pipe cleaners and you're going to find the top of your swag stick here, paint stir stick, and then go in there and pull these through to the back and then twist them up. And then once you have this done, you can hot glue these on here as well. Put some hot glue on the back of them to make sure that they don't come apart. So I have to get it off camera to put these in here. And I'm just doing the same thing, you know, I just twisted it really, really tight. Okay, now our bow's on, and then we can start fluffing it out. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is put on the sign. Okay, one more thing I wanted to show you on the back of our stick. You can leave it like this if you want, or you can put a piece of felt to cover the works on the back. Let's see. And this also helps to prevent any scratching on your door when you hang it up as well. So you just hot glue that down. And when you get up here to where the hanger is, I would just put the felt right up to the hanger so it doesn't cover your hanger. Okay, you can also do this with a piece of ribbon if you prefer. Okay, so before we put our sign on, I wanted to show you that I've made like a little bundle of ribbons here. And I just put a pipe cleaner around it. And I'm going to attach this to the bottom of my swag because I like to have them, you know, like hanging from the bottom. So I'm going to take it and I'm just going to go in and, you know, right here at the bottom, I'm going to attach it. Just going to give it some twists underneath here. And that'll just hang. Okay. And now I'm going to attach the sign. And I've got my sign all ready. I just hot glued these pipe cleaners on the back, put some felt over it, and so now I can use it to attach. And I'm going to put it a little bit lower, you know, underneath my bow that's on top so that it doesn't hide the bow. And attach it just like this. And I'm just going to pull these pipe cleaners through the mesh and around the paint stir stick. Okay, and I don't know if I'll be able to get all this on camera, so I'll do it off camera and then I will hang it up and show you what it looks like. So here we are, our swag is all finished. Hung it up on my door. So I hope that you have enjoyed this DIY today. I really appreciate it. If you give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think and tell me what colors that you would make your swag. I mean, today I've made it patriotic, but you can make any swag using the same method. So thanks for crafting with me today, and we'll see you next time.